book, which is Godzenie. It's a Polish word which means to reconcile. It was written in 2009. I lived in Poland for 2 years teaching English. And I'm going to start off by reading 2 poems from the first section. The first section is all titled Block 7A, which is where I lived in Block 7A, with an old lady named Aniela Vogel. And I look out the window and see this place called Żabka, which in Polish means frog. And it was the house of the frog where you can go to get fresh bread and that kind of thing. Polish bread is especially good. Do we have Polish bread? Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is Block 7A. People tan their faces with beer bottles. Trees grow from pools of dust. Kielbasa hangs from the branches. The house of the frog is very crowded. People vulture for fresh bread. Boiled kapusta and potato pancakes. The feathered pace noisily in blocks. A twitch of remorse on post-communist lace. Clubbing their fish in the bathtub, their god requires the fluttering of paper. Solarium bodies and George Michael on the radio. Tribes of old cronies beat their breasts. And the next poem from Block 7A. I'll tell you about Godzenie, the reconciling of marvelous machines that stamp our heads, bricks from a blown-up post office, fluttering letters, a twisted metal sculpture. Here's the kick, our tune for the endless egg, the hills that trace the fall. Don't ever get famous, bodies bound by sand, the morbid sentence called out of hearing, dictation for the blue revolution, that infinite passage of breaking life, an alien memory machine, shoes of a girl racing towards the door. Won't somebody tell me something? I poke my fingers through this rubble with a heavy Eurydice, a heavy hammer that chimes against this metal. Eyes of mad celluloid, I would have killed the snow that fell on Jory, the wound-down clock that beats against this robot heart. Now, and by the way, these books are available if anyone's interested. They're all £5. Okay, I'm going to skip ahead to the last section, which is called Return to the City. And this actually takes place on a journey back to Katowice, which is one of the places I lived in southern Poland. It's a coal mining region. And I went back there from London, so it's kind of the journey towards Katowice and in Katowice. So return to the city. The speaker resolved to make a special visit to Katowice. On the way out of London, the call stops were announced. Luton looms. There was a tinkling on the tracks, hollow air or stick on upturned bean tin. Footsore with new boots, blisters at the heel, unyielding leather. Irregular verbs in the past simple, socks hung on the line, glasses smudged from the wet city, and alas, the cleaning cloth just spread the motes. Nostalgia ran out of steam. Pen pokes holes, minds over markers. Show tunes turned into sirens, then back again into show tunes. Passing train thumped air against compartment. Overground trains, no matter how clanky, beat the underground. We sallied forth with a meanwhile approach. All the coal burning tickled our throats. Can't get optimal moving without sexual burning. Hypnosis, a place for jazz and oversized casseroles. I'm now eating a Kinder, which, she said, follows the melting of snow in Katowice. Woolly hat, handmade mittens, a large head at Christmas time. Her mom liked to repeat her name. There was always a new project, less rain and wider skies. The air took on serious proportions in Poland. She's sizing me up, giving me a size off. Must find the Polish sublime. Dinner, jelly hat with boiled chicken, carrots, and a surprise egg. They walked Magda through the forest to her concrete fortress. Near the forest, there was a molded house. Gdzie jesteś? Brick dust in a chicken coop. Breeding the breed. We have got to get out of this house. Polish bubbles from the Polish beer sank below her Polish waist. He's been looking for a bright screen for Yonkers. Come for dinner, but remember to wipe your glasses. Your letters are getting larger. You're becoming a real woman. Unseasonable rain filled the parking lot of Block 276 to Block 392. Nostalgia for the storm drain. That's a cumbersome sentence. An answer machine lies deep in the guts of this building, rearranging tunes, countdown to mayhem, a considerable extent of foreign notes on the radio, non-stop swerves in the kitchen. Fresh bread comes in for the night. We scarf it with butter and zupa krakowska. Father and son watch Everton versus Chelsea. More jelly hat with surprise egg. She washes her face with fresh mineral water. GKS Katowice is sprayed on blocks 276, 322, 943, 723, and 122. A life lived between the slats, sunlight grinding the statues, all the Żabka children slopping up cream. A wise man dwelled in block 272. It was clear upon inspection the animals had clawed the rubbish during the night. To get at a distance what had previously been waste, we dream over 40 dreams a night. You get what you pay for. Regular feeding times encourage the same mind. Sameness at a new distance produces difference. It is not, after all, what is wanted, but what is wanting. Quoting indirectly for all our sakes, lifted into or given a lift, a philosophy of talking, vernacular bricks, blow into glass and will measure your steam. At the pressure pub, blue heat lamps glowed against wooden panels. Lech altered his sperm taste. A dispute over personal space ensued. There was no soup in the toilets. She said she would spend more time with her mother tomorrow. The road into, the road out, in transition, in transit, it melts through the fingers. A short, continuous walk among the natives. These blocks were once swamps, swallowing, swallowing, swallowing. Somewhere between a song and a chant, 12 Polish girls hiked up their stockings. Once more through the Katowice train station. Once more up the coal-smudged hill. Metaphors sink the reel. A horse is a horse is a horse, of course. So that's from Godzenie. And I'm going to read a few poems from another chapbook. This is a chapbook called Smashing Time. This is from Smashing Time. And this is a little bit different. It's influenced quite a lot by New York School poetry, especially Kenneth Koch. And so it's kind of an everyday poetry. And this takes place in London. So this is from Smashing Time. Theme of sudden roundabout. Beside the duck pond in Ankara, higher up, high desert, now it's Albert Eiler's The Wizard. But I went to the toilet and it became spirits. And I'm doing a twisty with the toilet paper to clear out the black mucus from today's tube rides, which I heard the natives don't receive. And I'm getting a bit of the bends as Albert Eiler goes into Ghost's second variation. The kettle is boiling for Melissa T. Jim Brody's Heart of the Breath beside me in this North London room. The cheap Indian from Sainsbury's not sitting well. And I'm wondering how I started with Katowice, which is where Brody led me, and that studio space, which had a view of the dumpster. And every Friday night, two 20-something Polish lads beat the shit out of each other for fun. Almost every Friday for 4 months, maybe longer, because I stopped watching. And I'm wondering if this is getting banal, and whether it's time to get lyrical, or elliptical, or do another poem play, or just switch on BBC iPlayer and learn more about the revolution in British painting. Avenging angels versus karma. My breeches are huffing life. Don, don, da don, don, don goes the chime on the cheap Samsung. London, thy reeking greens, thy reeking rains. The bees are puffy gains. Somebody knocking on my door, a blow-up ovum, her helmet clang-clang. Walking the mud puddles of Elblong, that Mormon fig leaf ain't no relief. The dice was on the way to Walloon land. That was in 1308. In the hermit kingdom of Korea, the drains faced the mirror. Hagen, we've got the handshake. Life is a golden opportunity. Green blanket draped over soft chair, writing the green notebook on large wooden table. Welcome to Stewart Crescent. My beard is getting tangled. Eva is in the shower, the kitchen sweet from gas heater. The trees outside have dropped their conkers. This is the 11th of September. This is not a midwinter day. Fall has fallen, peppy and yellow. These are the foundations of another country. Eva has emerged from the shower with wet hair and a green t-shirt. These are the progressions from memory to freedom. Chicken scratchings from the Anglo-Saxon Hagen, we've got the handshake. Under the sun, do, malls ruin the lives of wood-green people. This is 2011. What happened? We live in an invented bed. In summer it rains, in winter rains, in spring the bees come. You were a child crawling on your knees, making Mama so proud. That window cleaning smell, sticky buns in the bakery window, false snow in the window at Christmas time. The civilized go by car. My vagina is well-worn spring. A family of trees, the water is warm, a baby is born. My mother leaned against the dresser and popped out my brother. We all played with the placenta. It's a true story. It's quite a surreal experience at 16 to play with the placenta. The next one is, actually I grew up in Northern Ireland, but then I went to a place called Milton Keynes. Has anyone heard of Milton Keynes?
Oh yeah, I've been there a lot.
Yeah. So I went there when I was 7, and also to get out of the troubles in Northern Ireland at the time. So we ended up in Milton Keynes, and then some Mormon missionaries came and converted us to become Mormon, and that's how I ended up living in America and why I have an American accent. I'm not Mormon anymore, but so they converted us and brought us to the land of milk and honey and all that stuff. But what they used to do is they brought these little Tootsie Rolls, and they're little sweets. They're about this size and they're really chewy. So Tootsie Rolls are the little sweets, and this takes place sort of in
Is that what converted you?
What's that?
Is that what converted you?
The Tootsie Rolls, definitely. Yeah. I mean, that got me.
This was the election.
I think so. It's all about the Tootsie Rolls. So this is called Tasmanians and Tootsie Rolls. In the new pad on orange Polish-style sofa, Art Blakey, a muff drum solo, just read Jim Brody's Kathy Foley 6, in which he mentions Tasmanians and Tootsie Rolls. Oh, Mormon missionaries in Milton Keynes, England, walk soft and carry a big stick. Not you, but the wind that blows through you. Celestial awning Oz, the big Satan. Clark Coolidge, be my Roshi. We need a special Hoover, Bupa, Hoopa, Evans at IKEA. I just ate halloumi and tomato from the Greek bakery, now listening to Ginsberg's first blues. Going to San Diego, that's where I went on my honeymoon. Got my cartilage pierced, Tiffany's father cut it off. I was becoming a feminist intellectual gay rights activist, the great work of one creative genius. Before the wedding, I slept for 3 days in the park in my Metro. Oh, bountiful. I used to own an '85 Ford Tempo, Cedar Springs, Southern Utah University. I met some gay thespians, and we danced at the only local bar. I lived with Queen Elizabeth, Cakeface at Matrix Marketing. I met my ex-wife on a coffee break. There are 4 chocolate truffles in the fridge from the Greek bakery. They are for the ladies. Where is my heart of breath, Mr. Jim Brody? Alien Tatters by Mr. Clark Coolidge. I wrote Alien Memory Machine. My thesis was called Resident Alien. Am I special? I'm going in circles, rub-a-dub. Rubber stainless steel skin. I'm a younger lad caught in nature's tin can, one crow short of a hottie. How many elements make your human body? Thanks.
Let's